Well, hello, heroes. Welcome to the podcast this week. You may notice I have a little bit of a different setup. I got a little, let's just be honest. I got a little carried away with my add to cart with some of my new lighting choices, and I'm here for it. I kind of feel like I live in a sci-fi film right now, and it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. So if you want to check out this week's episode on the YouTube channel, the OMH Creative YouTube channel where all of our podcasts are, you're going to see that it's a little bit different right now. And like I said, I'm here for it. It's fun to change things up, to paint with light, change things up every once in a while. Feels good. In fact, I want to talk about feeling good today because there is something that I have been doing for the last 10 years of my life that has really helped me to feel good and start my day off every morning. Now, I'm a little bit different in that I don't believe that there is one perfect morning routine. And that's what I'm talking about today is morning routines, morning rituals. For all of you high performers, there's all kinds of people that you might be listening to, Tony Robbins or, there's so many different people out there that talk about the perfect morning routine, and you have to do these certain things in this certain order. You have to gratitude journal in this very specific journal, and then you have to cold plunge, and then you have to run laps, and then you have to meditate for at least 30 minutes. And once you get through all of these suggestions that all these experts have of what the perfect morning ritual, morning routine is, you don't have time to go to work anymore, and your kids have already left for school without breakfast. So I really think we need to dial down I have to find the exact perfect thing that everyone else says is the thing I have to do, and keep layering on more and more things. Now I need to do this. Oh, I also should have to do this too. And don't forget doing this. And I have to make this certain green smoothie and like all these things. As high performers, we're always looking for that edge, right? At work and in our personal lives, and when we're building our bodies and building our mental fortitude, all these things. And it's a wonderful impulse to have, but we also can get really carried away with it. And I know I have so many times in the past. I've added things on layer by layer by layer by layer. And all of a sudden my morning routine is 2 friggin' hours long, which just feels like I have all this work to do before I start work. And it's just not a way that I ended up liking feeling. And so I really started to look at, okay, what are the essential elements that I need in order to get the result that I want? And so I had to start there and go, okay, what in the end, what is the result that I want from getting up earlier than the rest of my family, than my kids, than my wife? What do I want to feel? What's the result? The result I wanted, I knew it was a feeling state. So what do I want to feel at the end of this? And I came to the conclusion that, okay, no matter what I'm doing, I want to feel like I'm a little bit smug because I got up early. I'm a human. I'm sorry. I want to feel a little better than because I got up early, and I got up out of my warm bed and put my feet on the cold floor and got up. I want a little bit of a reward for that. And some of that times that is a little bit of a smug feeling that I got up and other people didn't. Okay. So give me this. So I want that. I want to feel grateful. I want to feel grateful that I'm starting this day and that I started it on my terms. And I want to get ahead of for my personal brain, any worrying or anxiety that I may have been carrying with me through the sleep cycle or been thinking about last night when I went to bed. I don't want to bring that into my current day. So I want to minimize that, calm my brain down, feel gratitude, feel a little bit smug, like I said, getting up early. I want to do something. I want it to be enjoyable. This should be enjoyable. This should not be a bunch of hard shit that I have to do and that only then do I feel accomplished very first thing in the morning. I just didn't want to do it. So that was my criteria. And once I realized that that's the result I was going for, that state of gratitude and centered was what I was going for, then I just chose a couple of different things, a few things to do that made me always feel successful in that regard and that I can get done in an hour or less. Now, for me, it's going to be different than it is for all of you. Each of you is going to be a little bit different, but I can help you today to pick which categories to choose from. And I swear, if you just pick one thing from each of these categories I'm going to give you and start applying it, you're going to have a fantastic morning routine, morning ritual for all you high performers that you're going to love. And if you love it, what are you going to do? You're going to stick with it because you love it and you look forward to it. How's that? Looking forward to getting up early in the morning and starting your day instead of dreading it, because no one's got time for that shit. We've got enough hard stuff in our day. Let's look forward and have joy in the things that we are doing when we get up in the morning and we're doing that ritual. So the first thing that I do is make sure that I have something that is so attractive to me that I look forward to it getting me out of bed. And that is a tall order sometimes, because sometimes that bed, especially in those colder winter months with that nice thick duvet cover on top, that is a tall order asking me to get up right now, even though my dog has already come over to the side of the bed and rested his head, his nose inches from mine, looking directly at me, willing me with all of his might to get up and to go ahead and let him out and to give him his food in the morning. So he's pretty good at that too. So a couple pets on the dog, that always is helpful. But what I'm talking about is something specific to you that makes you go, I get to get up and do that now. That makes you feel a little bit happy, a little giddy that you get to get up and do that now. That is worth the price of admission, the ticket price of putting your feet on that cold floor. All right. For me, that is my love affair, continuing love affair with my espresso machine. So I've had multiple espresso machines over my lifetime. The one I have right now is my absolute favorite, imported from Italy, plumbed in to my counter in my kitchen. I have the exact beans and grinder that I love. I love getting super nerdy about grinds and beans. And yeah, I'm one of those guys. All right. So it is one of the things that I love. So getting up in the morning and having my drink, getting up and either having an espresso or having an amazing coffee drink that I just decide to make that day, that always makes it feel like, I have something really fun to look forward to. That's just for me. It's going to be warm. I'm going to sit on the couch and stare into space for a couple of minutes while I sip on this coffee, and it's going to be fantastic. So that's what I love. That gets me out of bed in the morning in order to do that. So what is that thing for you? What is the thing for you that might be magnetic enough that just pulls you out of bed in the morning? For some of you, it might be doing yoga. It might be stretching. It might be going and reading. It could be so many different things. It might be going and watching the sunrise and that you love watching the sunrise. It could be so many different things. It could be a hot shower. For my son right now, it's definitely the hot shower. So think of what that thing could be for you. And this is something that is talked about as well by James Clear in Atomic Habits. When he's talking about habit stacking, he always talks about the first habit should be, that you want to do, and that if you want to go ahead and have a ritual and a habit that you want to do over and over again, if that first part of your habit, if you're habit stacking and you're trying to do multiple things, that first one should be super attractive to you. Something that you love to do. Something that is a treat. And then once you're doing that thing, the other things feel like they're so much more doable. For me, it's coffee. That might be something completely different for you. So what might that thing be for you that's super magnetic and gets you out of bed? So that's the first thing. It's just getting out of bed, something that is joyful, that attracts you, that's magnetic. The second thing is find something that centers your mind on gratitude. I have done lots of different kinds of meditation. I've done journaling. I've done all kinds of different mental exercises and things like that in the morning. I've done, harmonics and humming and like all kinds of resonance work. I've done all kinds of stuff. And I have the master's in acting and directing, the theater degree. I'm happy to go woo-woo. I'll go super toe-to-toe woo-woo with anybody. I'm willing to try anything if it gets me into that mental state of gratitude and of a positive feeling. I have found that for me, I bounce back and forth between a couple of different things and I cycle through them depending on how I'm feeling any given month. One of them might be doing transcendental meditation, which you can take a class on. It's like 2 or 3 sessions. It's non-religious based, and it teaches you just a repeatable pattern of being able to close your eyes, and you have a small mantra that you do, and that it helps you to center yourself and to just kind of get to a place where you're able to get rid of anxiety. If you're like me and you deal with anxiety kind of in a chronic way or have in the past, it's something that will help you to be able to center yourself and unclutter that stuff, to kind of separate those things, wash them away, and get ready for your day. Another thing that you can do is just focus on the very simple fact of closing your eyes and just thinking about the things in your life that you're grateful for. And this stuff can be super, super simple. I'm talking about being grateful for the fact that I get to work from home, being grateful for the fact that I have that espresso machine, being grateful for the fact that I woke up next to my amazing wife again today, that I've been given the gift of another day, being grateful for the fact that my son is going to be cheering at a game this Friday, and I'm going to get to go and cheer him on as his dad. And how amazing is that? I can be grateful for the fact that I have this warm dog that's curled up next to me. I can choose to be grateful about so many things in my life. And I'm sure you can find things that you're grateful for as well. But just thinking about and stacking the things that you're grateful for on top of each other, just try to not find yourself feeling a lot better. Getting out of any of that anxiety, if you're like me, that you might have, and starting to really focus your thoughts on what you're looking forward to that day. Getting in a state of gratitude is such a fantastic way to center yourself at the beginning of your day so that it sets up the rest of your day to be looking at the world through a lens of what's possible for you, what's possible for your business, what's possible for your family, for your relationships. It's just a fantastic way to prime yourself for your day. So that's the second thing. That first thing we talked about, just find something that you really want to do. It just gets you out of bed because you're looking forward to it. The second one, something that centers you, try to find something that centers you towards gratitude. And then the third thing, I just want you to do something that you enjoy. You probably thought I was going to say like, and now plan your day or look at your calendar. I've tried that. And sometimes I do open my calendar just to make sure I haven't forgotten about some like early morning meeting that, was for some people that I was presenting to in Germany or something like that. And I forgot about, it's another time of the day for them. And so I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. But more times than that, at this point, I don't pick up my phone at all. It's kind of a hard rule, is that unless I have a feeling that there might be something in my calendar that I don't want to miss, I'm not looking at the phone at all, because it's so easy for me to get sucked into email or to a request from one of my employees or a vendor, and they just need something real fast. Like if I see something that needs to be addressed, it's really hard for this doer to not immediately address it, especially if it's somebody else that needs my help with something. I find it really, really hard to focus on anything else until that task is taken care of. And so since I know this about myself, I try to set myself up for success just during this hour that's for me to set myself up to be successful for my day, to not look at the phone, not look at the email, not look at the calendar, not look at anything on there. Definitely none of the social media. All right. So that's the only no rule I would say about your mornings, is try to not have your phone, your device, your smartphone near you at all, because it's just too tempting. But that third thing that I want you to do is just pick something that you enjoy. It seems decadent. For me, sometimes it is reading a sci-fi novel that I'm really into. Other times it's picking up a comic book and reading and feeling like a kid, like a teenager that could look at these worlds and see all these things that are possible and getting my creative juices flowing. That really can help me sometimes as well. But find something that you find enjoyable while you're drinking that coffee, while you're doing your ritual of gratitude, something that you, even if it's just for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something that you love to do. Something, especially if you can do it with your hands or you're reading, but it's something that you look forward to. If you can do these things and put together a custom routine for yourself so that, like I said, you can feel a little bit smug in the morning. I'm human. It's okay. I feel a little bit smug sometimes. I got up early. I did things. By the time I get up to wake up my wife and bring her her cup of coffee and get my son ready and into the shower for him getting ready to go to high school, I already feel successful about my day. I already feel like it's on the rails and going in the right direction. And I wasn't always this way. So I used to be someone that just like slept into the very last moment that I could and that just kind of stumbled into my day. And I have such a better time now because of this. I really feel like the time is mine, and it's a little mini vacation that I get every morning that's just mine. And that can become so important for all of you out there that are married or that have partners or that have kids. That time is really hard to find during the day or in the evenings because you have commitments. So try to gift yourself that in the morning. But that's what I wanted to point out for today. There is no perfect morning routine. There is no secret. You have to do these things in this order and you'll get this result every single time. And you have to do it this way. Otherwise, it's just wrong. I've experimented with lots of different ways to go about this. If you just stick to those three things, something that you're excited to get out of bed in the morning for that seems like a treat. For me, it was coffee. For you, it might be something else. But if it's espresso, you're my people. Something that centers your mind on gratitude. If you have some anxiety, I would highly recommend you taking one of those 2 or 3 day transcendental meditation courses. They're fantastic. It's like an hour and a half for 3 sessions. You can usually find somebody locally. Like I said, it's non-religious based. It's just a nice tool to have in the toolkit. But if not, literally just closing your eyes and thinking about the things in your life that you can be grateful for. It's amazing the little tiny things that you can find and big things. And then something that you enjoy doing. I don't care if it's stretching, if it's some light yoga, reading comic books, reading your favorite novel, knitting, whatever it is. Something that allows you to just sit there and be, or do something that's lightly active, going for a walk even, but it just feels like it's just for you and that you enjoy it. All right, my friends, that's what I have for you this week. Remember, stop striving towards finding the perfect, optimal, high performance morning routine. And just find one that works well for you and is yours and that you enjoy, that brings you joy and launches your day in the right direction, centered on gratitude. All right, I will talk to you next week, my friends. Until then, I'm grateful for all of you, and I'm grateful for any of you that are listening to my podcast. Talk to you soon.